The Philadelphia Phillies might have an all-star, and it's not who you think. Outfielder Brandon Marsh has gotten off to a terrific start in 2026. Despite the fact that most of his teammates have not joined him in that success, Marsh is now hitting 300 on the season. His 829 OPS and 14 RBIs is separating himself from the pack. Marsh has quickly become a very valued hitter, and despite the fact that the Phillies are platooning Marsh against left-handers, they have started to give him a little bit more of an opportunity against a left-handed starter, opting to use him in center field over Justin Crawford, who has struggled briefly in his limited time against left-handed pitching. Marsh has shown a little bit of improvement against lefties. However, it is not enough for him to be considered a full-time starter. Regardless, when he is facing right-handed pitching, he is crushing the ball. At a time where the Phillies need offense in a big way, Brandon Marsh has stepped up. Thursday afternoon against the Chicago Cubs, Marsh drove in the team's first 3 runs that helped get the Phillies back in the ballgame. Ultimately, the Phillies did not win that game, but Marsh's contributions helped keep the game close, which is something that the Phillies have been desperate for to start the season. Both Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper have gotten off to Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper starts, and while they have not been as perfect as you might have hoped, they are the only 2 hitters aside from Marsh that are actively contributing on a day-to-day basis. Trey Turner is struggling, Alec Boehm is struggling, Adolis Garcia has had his moments, but overall is struggling. With JT Realmuto banged up to start the season, the Phillies have used Rafael Marchand a lot more than they would have hoped. Marchand's struggles at the plate have made it even harder for the Phillies to produce offensively. On the other side of the ball, Brandon Marsh has played an outstanding left field once again. While he's only an average center fielder, I do believe that Marsh is a Gold Glove caliber outfielder when playing in the corners, particularly left field. Considering the fact that Kyle Schwarber, Felix Reyes, and Otto Kemp have played in left field to start the season, I feel as that when the Phillies face a right-handed starter, Marsh is giving them a great opportunity to go out and win. Now he just needs his teammates to follow suit. Marsh's hot start in 2026 is the complete opposite of what we saw in 2025. Brandon Marsh had a 387 OPS in this time frame and then eventually landed himself on the injured list. When Marsh returned on May 3rd of 2025, he produced at an elite clip. Marsh hit 303 from May on and had an 836 OPS in those games. Continuing to play a solid outfield, Marsh was a real contributor to the 2025 Phillies, and he has carried that over into 2026. A lot has been said about Marsh versus lefties, but if you look at the bigger picture, he has been a consistent contributor for the Phillies year in and year out. When compared to his fellow National League outfielders, Brandon Marsh has the 10th highest on-base percentage plus slugging through this point in the season. While that list will continue to shake out, I feel as though this is not just a hot start from Brandon Marsh, and I do not expect him to just drop off. I will continue to expect Brandon Marsh to contribute as the season progresses. By clicking on the thumbnail of this video, you saw that I put the word All-Star next to Brandon Marsh. I don't think that's a very far-stretched idea. If Marsh continues to hit and plays a strong left field and at times center for the Phillies, I think he can continue to build a case. With the All-Star game in Philadelphia, the home team usually has a couple extra All-Stars that are baked in towards the end. While I don't expect Brandon Marsh to be a starter for the National League's outfield come the All-Star game in July, I do feel as though he might be a reserve player, potentially earning an at-bat late in the game and playing in front of his home crowd. Of all the things that are going wrong with the Philadelphia Phillies, Brandon Marsh is not one of them. Brandon Marsh will continue to be a key contributor for the Phillies this season. Marsh is going to need to help lift the Phillies out of their 9-game losing streak. Heading home to Atlanta this weekend, if Marsh can continue to hit the cover off the ball, hopefully that means the Phillies can pick up a couple wins against their division rivals. The season is looking bleak for the Phillies, but Brandon Marsh is a player who can help lead them out of the cellar and back into the playoff hunt. What have you thought of Brandon Marsh this early in the season? Do you think that this can continue offensively? Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on Marsh and whether or not you could see him representing the Phillies in the 2026 All-Star Game.